YouTube family, how are you? Trying to get the last bunch of fuel burnt out of the car, so that's what's going on. It's almost an E. The light is on now, so things are looking good. But today, there's not much work on this because we got my good old friend over here, the Subaru, that's asking for some attention. So I've started pulling it up from the last video that you saw. We got some more work to do, so just today's gonna be a Subaru video, so just come along and let's see what's going on. Let's see what we gotta do. Alrighty, so here we are. So as you can see from the last video, we took a bunch of stuff out of the engine, and basically I'm going to try to put everything back today as much as I can at least. I am waiting on one part, which is this oil sending unit right here. There's a lot of oil over here in this collected this area, and this is the only thing I see that could potentially leak. So honestly it wasn't wet, but right here was wet, so I'm just going to change it. I ordered it. I thought it would have gotten here by this weekend, but it's not here yet. So I can't finish this until the part comes in, and I can't put the alternator in until the parts comes in. But I do have some parts here. So let me talk about what parts I have, and then we're gonna do some more tear out. So as you see the parts, you'll see why I'm basically taking stuff out. Now I'm up to, I think, 67 subscribers. So with that said, you know, as the channel grows and the business develops, you gotta add staff in, right? So now I have assistants. So I'm gonna have my trusted assistant. Here's my assistant manager. She's gonna help me with the parts. So here we go. So what do we have here?
We have these two parts that we're gonna use.
Okay, all right, so let's see. All right, so basically these are the two belts. So we had the AC compressor belt and the alternator belt. So we're gonna get some new ones. What else do we have, assistant?
Well, we have these two.
Okay.
That we're gonna use.
All right, so do you know what this is?
No.
All right, so these are basically the plugs. So we have, I'm gonna change the spark plugs while we're at it. So it's not the hardest thing to do, but it's not the easiest thing either. So we're gonna have to get down in here where the coils are, right here and here. Get the light. So here are the coils, and we have them on the other side, so we'll have to get those out. So we'll get those out, and we'll get new ones in as well. When I take the plugs out, if they're wet, meaning the valve cover gasket is leaking, then we're gonna have to add, and we're gonna have to do some more work, okay? So that's this could evolve into more things, so let's see what's gonna happen. All right, so what else do we have here?
This is the pulley bearing for the boss's car.
The what?
Well, this is the pulley bearing for the boss's car.
Who's the boss?
You.
Okay, all right, great. All right, so the bearing, this is the new bearing, and as we showed in the last video, this one was actually bad, so this is gonna get replaced. Very easy, just pull this nut and just basically replace, just put it on and tighten it up, and we're good to go. So that goes back right here. All right, and then I have some, this is the factory hoses for the factory boost control, and I know I might get some fire from the comment section on this, but I'm actually, this car has a Grady Profect B boost controller, so basically an electronic boost controller, and it works okay, but honestly, when this whole modification of the car was done, it has an upgraded turbo fuel system, computer reflash and everything. The car ran like a champ, but it was getting up to like 18 pounds, 19 pounds of boost, and you know, back then I was very scared to push it because I thought I was gonna blow it up, but at this point, hey, if it blows up, it blows up, right? I don't think it's gonna blow up. Actually, I don't want it to blow up. I've tried to play with the Profect B. For those of you who have experience with the Grady Profect B, it's not the most user-friendly thing to do. So what I'm gonna do is put back in the factory system, have the ECU manage the boost control, and hopefully I'll get that power that I had way back restored. And if it overboosts again, I guess I'll just pull it apart again and put it back to where we are with the Profect B. So this is gonna go back in. This is the factory boost control system right here. This is the Gredi Profit B EBC. So this is gonna get basically just disconnected, and we're gonna reconnect the OEM system. And I'm also gonna change the PCV valve. Now this car has very low miles, so I'm not sure if this PCV is bad, but of course everybody says check your PCV. So since I'm here and I'm working on the car, I bought a new one, very inexpensive. So I'm going to take the intercooler out and just get to the PCV valve. So that's what's coming up right now. So let me get my other assistant, who is my tools manager, and we're gonna pull this thing apart. All right, so to get this intercooler out, you know, it's a upgraded intercooler, so it's pretty big. So you gotta basically get this strut bar out first, just to even attempt to get this intercooler out. So let's get started with that. So bring in our tool manager, sorry. So let's start with the big heavy guns here. So thank you. All right, so let's get the strut bar out. Alright, again, this thing is basically stuffed in here. So you gotta pull this whole thing apart. It doesn't even come out by just pulling the top struts. These nuts, you gotta loosen this guy here just to attempt to get this thing out. So let's pull this off. Alright, so I just got the factory boost vacuum hoses reconnected. So here's the factory boost solenoid. Everything's connected back into the compressor side and the wastegate here, and then this one goes to the intake. So now I'm gonna get this PCV valve out, and man, this thing is hidden back here. So if you look back here, I've got the socket on. It's a 19mm. So it's right back here. So I'm gonna attempt to pull this out right now. So just watch along and hope it comes out pretty easy. I just want to make sure. Yeah, we're going this way. This thing is in there pretty tight. Okay, there you go. Try not to cross thread this thing. And I'm going to test this thing. I'm pretty sure it's going to be good, but let's see. Yep, it's good. So this is how you test it. Hear that knocking sound? So let's check it against the new one. And it is summer in Florida, so it's hot. Yeah, it's a little bit stuck, but the new one is going in. All right, so we're gonna get this one back in. PCV is done. Then we put all the intercooler back in. And all of that work was just to change this little guy. Alright guys, so we got the PCV valve change, and you know, I mean, I guess I just changed it because I had the new one already, but the old one seemed to be fine. So we replaced that. Man, that intercooler, if you got a double RX, you know that intercooler is not the funnest thing to take out. And this is a bigger one, so the factory one is easy or easier. This one is like, you gotta get this coupler right here, the turbo and the blow-off valve hose all lined up one shot and get it snapped in. So anyways, it went pretty smooth considering the other times I've done it. But right now we're gonna change out this pulley. We're gonna put it on, and after that I'm gonna get the plugs out. So you know, if you're not a double RX fan, you're probably bored. But just watch along, hang in there, support your boy, and we'll get this done. All right, so here's the old one. Gonna get this thing out, and we're gonna break out the new one right here. So yep, that's the way it should work. All right, I'm just getting my rag and clean this up. Remember the old one? All right, so we're gonna get this in here. There's a little notch, and here you go. I'll get that tightened up. And now we're just gonna put it back in the car. So this goes right here. I'm not gonna tighten this yet because you gotta adjust the tensioner when you put the belt on and then tighten this afterwards. So just kind of leave this loose for now. And it is hot in this garage. And I'm trying to keep the sound quality good, so I turned the fan off. So I hope you guys appreciate the video while I'm sweating. Alright, here it goes. Let me do one bolt at a time here. Hopefully the lighting, you can see this. 2 bolts basically get in right here. Let me get my little impact. There's some 12s. And where's my 12? You know, when you're getting tired, you start losing all your tools. So where is my 12? I think it's in my 12. Maybe. All right. So if you look right here, we got our AC compressor, got our crank pulley, got this guy ready to go. So now we're gonna get that belt on. Should be looking good. All right, so let me get that belt. I put the belt on, I'm trying to get the tension. And what I like to do is when I put it on, I like to get not full rotation like that, but like nice and easy, like 45 degree. That's how I put it on. It hasn't slipped and I haven't torn up any pulleys doing that. So I think this is gonna be good. And then it has a little flex in it as well. And these Bondo belts, I mean, I find them, they're super flexible compared to the others. So it's kind of hard to tell with these because they flex a lot, but I think that's gonna be good to go. And now I'm gonna tighten the bottom. So I'm gonna tighten the last nut on the pulley here. And this is done. So right now, after this, I'm gonna go take the plugs out, change those out, and hopefully fire this thing up and go have some fun. All right, so I got the coils out on the passenger side, and you know, if you look, well, I got the coils and the plugs out, and I use basically the spark plug socket and just this extension, the small extension, so that gets everything out. And I think these are pretty shot. I think I probably haven't changed these for a good 8-10 years. So you know, the car was getting some misfire from idling anyways, so I think it's really time for them to go. So now I got the new ones. So we're gonna get these guys in and you know, get everything buttoned up, put the intake back on this side, and once I'm done on this side, I'll just go finish up the other side. We won't do that on camera. And then the only thing left to do is really just wait for this oil pressure sensor to come in and replace it, and hope that's what's creating the little oil leak that I'm seeing. It's a very small leak, but nevertheless a leak is a leak, so we gotta get that figured out. And that will wrap the Subaru up. So you know, the garage fight will be over. The MR2 will be happy because we'll give him some attention. The Subaru will be happy because he got some attention, and you know, life's good. So so for everybody watching, you know, I know this is a different content, and you probably joined for the MR2, but I mean, we can't do MR2 every single day, right? And you know, and that's just life. Cars break down, you gotta fix them. So that's why it's called the Buy Tonight. So I probably need to change it to the Buy Tonight's Garage. But next week, we're gonna do some MR2 stuff. I think I'm gonna do something new that I haven't seen on YouTube yet, so stay tuned. That should be interesting for the MR2 fans, SW20 guys. But outside of that, thank you for watching. Appreciate everyone, subscribers, comments, everything, and have a great weekend. Thank you so much.